Welcome to the Barbell Strikes Back. I'm James McDermott, joined by Miguel Porter. Miguel, the Open's next week. Can you believe
It
it?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah. I want to see. I want to see like some innovation on the workouts. I want to see new and exciting things. Last year was kind of what it needed to be, but I feel like this year they could, if they really wanted to, they could be like, you know what, like almost like reemerge. Like, hey, no, this is CrossFit. Let's do this. And you and I are undergoing the drill of creating our own open workouts or programming our own open. And that's kind of the mindset that I took with it. Last time we talked about our favorite open moments. And one of the things that I really like is how the CrossFit Open used to kind of push the community forward a little bit. Like, hey, here's dumbbells. You should buy them. You should use them, program them more often. Oh, you don't have double unders? Sorry, you should work on those and come back next year. So that's kind of the approach I took a little bit with my workouts, although this was definitely a very hard drill for many reasons.
Yeah, agreed. I guess I kind of went the same kind of mindset as well of like, yeah, you should be prepared for things. So even like, yeah, we've been seeing trends going this way. What if it's something completely different this time?
Yeah.
How will everyone fare with going, yeah, through something that you should probably already be doing, but if you have it in your mind that the open's going this way, you might not.
Isn't it a little funny that when something new maybe pops up in the open or the open challenges us in a different way, people these days kind of get like a little up in arms. But it's like, remember, if we go back, like what are we doing? We're preparing for the unknown and the unknowable, right? We're training for general physical preparedness. Like, are you training CrossFit all year? Are you eating well? Are you practicing skills? And or are you just kind of always doing the same things? Are you doing like endless bike workouts or whatever it may be? Which that isn't it also kind of crazy? Like how much we do that? Like it's not even going to pop up in the open. Heck, it's not even going to pop up maybe even in the next stages after that until you get to semifinals. So it's like I don't think anyone should be surprised, and it's always amazing to me when people get upset when they're challenged, when you're doing like the most challenging program that is like not founded on, but like one of its core tenets is like you can like be ready for any challenge and you should prepare for any of it. So it's just always just a weird thing to me, and I think it's probably is like a natural one on like people don't like to be exposed. They don't like a spotlight shined on their weaknesses, and they want to be able to do everything. But I think it's maybe just an unrealistic expectation, at least for like the whole thing. Yeah, at least like let all right, one work, like it's one workout. There's going to be two others. One of the challenges that I ran into on this was the fact that it is 3 workouts. We've done Albany CrossFit Opens in the past where we like kind of replicated 5 workouts. And boy, if we were able to program at least one more other workout, it would have been a lot easier because I found myself like picking and choosing and be like, oh man, my biases are really showing. Like oh, we're squatting a lot because I like squats, but we're not doing other things. And I'm like, crap. But like I keep thinking of these workouts that I think would be unique or fun to do, but I'm like just doing the same movement patterns over and over. Is that something that you kind of experienced?
Yeah, really what I was doing was I was realizing the previous open like call outs where, we'd get to week 2 and after week 2, you're like, oh, all we've done is hinging. And I was kind of trying to think about it like that in terms of like, oh, this is a lot of bend instead of like squat or, extension or different things. So yeah, I was kind of thinking about it like that. Like, how can I mix this up in a way that we hit everything while also honestly, towards the end, almost like dropping it because it's 3 weeks. Like it's hard to make everything even in terms of whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and there were some things where I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to be able to do this. Like we're just not going to do these in the open. And I
Yeah.
can see, but of course, like, all right, there is another stage coming up after that. But it's like, yeah, I mean, like I did program wall walks. I could change it easily to handstand push-ups, but essentially I have no handstand stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, I had wanted to put in hand release push-ups, but even wanting to like do that as like an innovative new thing or ab mat sit-ups, I just wasn't able to find it a home. But if I was doing 5 workouts, oh yeah, we could find a home for that. I could really
Right.
spread things out and do more couplets or this. I even found it difficult on like trying to vary up the task priority versus time priority and the time domains with only 3 of them. Because it's like you want to give people something meaty to do. You don't want to just program an 8-minute workout, which some opens have had stuff like that. 7-minute
Yeah.
AMRAP of double unders and bar muscle ups. What was one of them one year, and then double unders and snatches. I was like, you know what? I don't have room for that. But if that would be an easy like week 4, week 3, and then right in the middle type of thing. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge that way. How do we want to display these workouts? Like I have mine on a notepad. Yeah, are you just gonna read yours?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll just read mine too. So all right, so any other thoughts just in general on like just the whole process? Were you thinking at all in terms of like, oh, this isn't just for the gym, this is for everybody, and like
Yep.
the logistics in different gyms and all around the world? Were you thinking about that a little bit?
Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking about time domains as well, but I wanted to go a little bit longer, but then I thought like, yeah, you have to split this. This has to be split for 2 heats to go in every single class, and they
Yeah,
should be able to at least do some sort of warm up. So I
yeah,
kept all mine within like the same kind of time modality, but I think again, I think that's fine for the open. I think it's what you have to expect.
yeah, yeah. Especially with what it is now, I think that's another thing. It's like we're not going to get roasted by people who have all kinds of
Right.
expectations. This is just a for fun thing, and even with the ones I have now, what I have now, I feel like is a solid like rough draft. Like if we were going to do this at the gym, I would want to test them, and I'm sure there'd be a lot of whittling this and that, and like throwing things out, or adding things in. So it's like you would hope they do that, like right? They I think they do
Yeah.
that. They don't just
Yeah.
throw out 3 workouts, but so we only had a week to put ours together, so we'll see how far we got. I'll let you go first. What's now? Did you put yours in order, or are you just like because I put mine in order on how I would want to release them? Is that what you're
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. And
Okay.
we should probably just do all 3 at once, right? Just to like show the reasoning
Oh,
behind.
from week to week.
Yeah, like I do 1 through 3, and then we'll discuss, and then
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
Yeah, we can do that. Yep. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what would be better if we go. You do your one, I do my one, and but let's get the complete picture. You're saying.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Um,
let's do it.
yeah. So my first one, I have a 10-minute time cap. It's a ascending and then descending ladder. So we're going with a couplet of snatches at 95-65 and bar facing burpees, 1 to 10, and then 10 back down to 1. So round 2 is 1 snatch, 1 bar facing burpee. Round 2 is 2 snatches, 2 bar facing burpees, all the way up to 10, and then back down.
Do you have to
Um,
repeat the 10? Like do 10
no,
again?
yeah. So 10 is the top, and then back down to 9.
Got it.
And I based this off of 22.2. I actually got the memory on my phone during the middle of the week.
Nice. It was a
It
sign.
was a video of me, Mike, Shaf, and Deanna doing it. Um, and it was It's the same rep scheme, bar facing burpees as well, but it was deadlifts at 225, 155, I think. So I really like that rep scheme, and I kind of like the bar facing burpees with it. I think I switched it up to snatches because with a lighter snatch, this was a very much everyone got time capped type of workout. But I think with the lighter snatch, you have the benefit of holding on for those longer sets. Whereas with the deadlift at 225, sometimes you're like, okay, it might just be better to go singles on these or like do 2 or 3 reps. But with a lighter snatch, I think you can hold on for a lot longer.
I think so. And I think with the weight that you chose, it's going to put a lot of people in the situation of like, are you going to tough this out now, or are you going to put it down, on the burpees? Are you going to gut through them or not? And for the tier below that, it's like, okay, maybe you're just going to be fighting just to get that last 10 done. And that was you. And then the second half of the workout is for the next level, essentially.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then week 2, I put a 14-minute time cap for this one. It is 21:15.9 thrusters at 95.65 in cows on the rower. And then I have 45 double unders after each round. So for this one, I kind of went the Fran-ish route because I think everyone always expects like some form of thrusters to come up.
Yep.
I put it week 2 as well because I feel like everyone's always anticipating it week 3, so it kind of takes the mystery out of it. So I want to drop it in week 2 to kind of get everyone to be like, all right, we did it. Anything can come up in week 3.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think the calories on the rower kind of bring a different challenge to it because it's still grippy in the way that like pull-ups would be. And then you have to go right to the double unders after each time you get off the rower. So yeah, I thought that would be interesting.
Yeah, and the double unders
45 isn't like a. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the double unders 45 is like, it's a weird number in a sense on like it could throw you off mentally because you're like, well, it's normally 50, and then like, I don't know, I just feel like those odd numbers like trip people up mentally sometimes, even though it's not that much different than if you had to do 5 more. And they're super valuable because like it's not that many, but you don't want to trip up on them. If you trip up on them, you're going to lose precious time, and you might not catch someone on the barbell or the rower after that.
Right. Yeah.
And the other 2 workouts or exercises lend themselves to having a jump rope meltdown for sure when your legs are heavy and your arms are tired. I like that.
And then finally for week 3, I did a 15-minute time cap. I have 2 rounds for time, and it's 12 toes to bar, 20 overhead squats at 115.85, followed by 12 chest to bar pull-ups and 20 squat cleans at the same weight, 118.85 or 115.85, followed by 12 bar muscle ups and 20 deadlifts at 115.85. So the barbell kind of movement, I guess, gets less technical as you progress, as the pull-up bar movement gets more technical.
Yeah. And I think I like that because like those deadlifts are going to suck. Like it's at the very end of it, and then going from the deadlift on round 1 to the toes to bar on round 2. Like round 2 is going to be like a bear, because I mean, like, especially I feel like if that's going to be a really challenging point, like that second set of toes to bar after what you've just been through. And I think it makes if you had the deadlift way earlier, it'd be way less impactful in the workout.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a great spot for it. Squat cleans. We were just talking about those yesterday during our open prep. I feel like this could be a year for squat cleans.
Yeah. I think it's the best way to do them in the open. I think they're kind of a little bit fearful of like people getting elbows through if they do like a power clean.
Yeah.
So I feel like they usually go to squat clean if they're going to do cleans.
Well, and like with the squat clean, it's like, like at some point you have to have trust in the community, right? Like all right, we're gonna do it, and then see what problems arise from that, and then make adjustments next year. But the best of the best still have to make videos. They're still going to have to squat below parallel. They're still going to have to get their elbows through. Let's see here. What was the time cap for this one? Oh, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I did 15.
So as you were plotting this out, what challenges did you have outside of like kind of the ones that we were just generally talking about earlier?
Yeah, it was getting skills in there, and then again, like trying not to make it super hingy.
Yeah.
I think that's always the toughest thing. Like here, nobody's getting inverted at all in any of these workouts, and I think that's okay. But I would say that, and then also, yeah, I wanted to make this a fully barbell open as well.
Mm.
So other than like the pull-up bar and the rower double unders, like the only weight you're touching is a barbell. And I don't think that people will be expecting that for the open. So yeah.
Yeah. That was a problem I ran into. My first two workouts, I had dumbbells in it, and I'm like, oh gosh, like I gotta get barbells in here. And I don't want to make this all dumbbells, but I kept having more dumbbell ideas, on things I wanted to do. No, I think it's great. I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's hitting the general time domain that they want to hit for the open, or at least what they can do now, I think you're hitting a lot of the big bases on the movements. Yeah. It definitely is like the barbell, like I don't even know. See, that's the thing. Like, how do you add more gymnastics? Like, what are we going to get upside down or something like that? Like this is kind of where like you would have some other weeks in there. But so I definitely in doing this, I have a greater appreciation for what, like just the challenges of what might go on. Trying to build a 3-week event that is going to be under high scrutiny, and how to make it perfect. And I think too, you're going to see the people who need to finish these finish them for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think that these workouts are unobtainable for the intermediate level to even some like, like people who are just getting there to maybe even finish. Like 12 toes to bar, not too bad. You can get through that. 4s, 6s, whatever. The chest to bar pull up might stop some people, and the bar muscle up might stop some people. But but that person could probably still do the barbell stuff. And that's workout 3. Workout number 2, I feel like you don't finish that one if you haven't been working on stuff. Like you haven't been doing capacity work. You haven't been working on your double unders. And the first one is like you just didn't want to finish it because it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Any other thoughts on your series there?
No. Yeah, I guess the only thing would be like I am curious to see people test these out. Like I would be curious as to what exactly the time domains would be. Like with that first one, when it was 22.2 with the deadlifts, I think even top athletes were like 8 minutes, I want to say. I could be wrong. Maybe it was like 6 or something, but I think they were like pretty close to the time cap as well. So I'm curious what the snatches would make of that.
Yeah.
And like people can do Fran in 2 minutes. So it's like changing it to rower calories, I think adds a little bit more time. And
Yeah.
then with double unders as well, like transitions, and even if you got the double unders, like being smart on the double unders, I'm curious as to what that time would be.
Boy, snatches and burpees. Like there are just certain combos that like hurt like nothing else, and snatches and burpees is definitely one to be fearful of. It's it's just it's just so much down and up, like
Yeah.
and it spikes your heart rate. Like I would rather do the deadlifts than at the
Right.
heavier weight
Yeah.
than this. And plus, if it's a heavier deadlift, I have an excuse to drop it. All right, I'm gonna do 5 and 3 or 4 and 4 on the round of 8. But for this, you really shouldn't be dropping it. Like I don't know. Like if that is the appropriate weight for you, 95, 65, and you're an RX athlete, I really feel like you drop it because you wanted to drop it. Probably before you actually need to drop it. Because I think by the time you need to drop it, you're already starting to go back down the hill, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, why wouldn't you? And plus, this is the valuable second half, because like it's everyone's going to be racing to that 10, and then it's like, all right, now you were sprinting a little bit on the way up, or maybe you're a little conservative, but now you kind of have to like sprint downhill, right? Is that what
Yep.
you were thinking?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I think you can, if you're smart on the burpees on the way up, I think you can definitely hold on to that bar with the snatches. But yeah, on the way down, you really, and it's light enough that it's like, oh, now the bar is even bouncing if you drop it. So if you
Yes.
break up like that 9 or that 8, like the extra 1 or 2 seconds to stabilize that bar and pick it back up, that's gonna, yeah,
Yeah, you're already seeing the other guy out of your peripheral go down for their next burpee on the next round. You're like,
yeah,
crap. And you could choose too your points on like, okay, we need to step up out of the burpee just to pace this a little bit. But maybe when I get to this certain point, when that my competitors step in, I'm going to start just
yeah,
horse them through the burpees. Because like that's the thing. If you only ever train the step up burpees, when are you going to train that second gear on the burpees, which used to be just the only gear on the
yeah,
burpees, just pop up, jump over. I feel like for someone who does do that, that's a huge advantage because like someone else is just going to mentally kind of just keep trudging through it. But if you have that extra gear, you're just going to go, all right, and we're on to round of 7 and just jump them or what, or even like
yeah.
the last 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When would you think that if stepping on this workout would start to become a detriment? At what point?
I think stepping,
If at
again,
all, if at
because
all,
the snatch is so light, I think you probably shouldn't be stepping.
at
Like if
all.
you're like top tier athlete, because I feel like it's a small enough number of burpees that you should be able to sprint all of these. Like the deadlift, I think when it was 225, it's like that gives you enough, like when you stand up, that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to
Yeah.
fully brace. I think the snatch, you can kind of just shut your brain off. So I think you can sprint these burpees
Yeah.
enough that you can pop up out of them.
Do you think that some of like the games athletes they do their their whole burpee motion with the step up included faster than like a lot of people do the double jump?
Oh yeah. Like I was even thinking, I think when the announcement for this one when it was burpees was Colton Mertens. I want to say it was Colton Mertens and like Justin Medeiros. Um, but I even think like if Colton Mertens is stepping up, yeah, he's stepping up and jumping over quicker than you can pop up and pop over.
Yeah.
Like step up is so trained that it's like he's stepping up and forward to just bring those feet together and be in the air already.
So the average
So
Joe, it's like if the average Joe starts stepping, it's like that's like 3 times slower than what he's doing, you know?
right.
So if you wanna try to, like I mean, not beat him, you're not gonna beat him, but, like, be competitive on this workout or maybe even have a chance to finish, you gotta do the thing that's closest to what he's doing speed and
Yeah,
time-wise.
exactly.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, especially after we were talking about it yesterday with Maria, Nyla, and Nicole. All right, the step up, it's like when we see these athletes do things, we're like, "Oh, that's what we should do." But like you have to remember like they're cycling that through way faster and it is beneficial for them to do it. If you do that and you only train that, you're just training yourself to be really slow. You
Yeah,
know. So it's just an interesting thing, you know.
yeah, yeah. Because the way that what was I, who was I saying this to? Oh, I was doing like an analogy of like, uh, when I played the violin, they're like the big tuners that you have up near the neck of the violin, and then there are fine tuners that are more towards the bottom. And I would say like athletes are more fine tuning. Like it's the video review, it's the little tiny things that they're looking at when they're like, all right, my rep speed for this is 3.1 seconds. Right now, my step up is at 3.6 seconds. How can I make those closer together? Or how can I speed up each one? And they're going through and they're practicing the step up as fast as possible. And once
Yeah.
you like do it, you're so used to doing it fast. It's the same thing with box step ups with like the alternating feet, the little tap on or and then stepping right back up. It's like when you're first learning it, you're going to do it slow because you're still thinking about it. It's so like mechanized in your brain. It's just like you're doing that so fast and you're not even thinking about it.
Yeah. And that's where we want to get to for sure. But it's like, all right, maybe we should be training our capacity, and bumping that up to the point that when we do go to step, we're still able to maintain the overall general speed and output versus like training things that essentially just become like a fallback for
Yep.
when you start to feel the heat of the workout. And it's like, no, no, no. You have to maintain or lean into the intensity to get the benefit of it, right? If every time you feel the intensity, you just back off and you have this like backup plan that makes it easier. Well, how's that any different than if you're doing air squats in a workout? You start to make it easier by squatting shallower. Like
Yeah.
you'll see people in the warm-ups and skills practice and stuff like, oh, you could squat below parallel, but you don't do it during the workout after a certain point. It's because you're making it easier. Um, and we just can't allow that, if we're
Yeah.
trying to get to the next level. Every time you see my camera go, it's just because I'm blowing my nose and I'm back. uh, awesome. And do you think for workout number 2 here, does the 14-minute time cap feel a little long? Like even for like the general athlete, like what do you think?
Yeah. I do think it is a little bit. Again, I think I'm curious because of the rowing.
Yeah,
Um, just because I know that the rowers is a little bit longer than pull-ups. Um, but I was thinking that because I was thinking because of the double unders as well. Um,
yeah,
like if you're not proficient on the double unders, you might get stuck in the 15 simply because it took you 3 minutes to get 45 double unders. Um, but I almost want to give those people who it's like you have some double unders. Let's see if you can really push on them and see how many you can get. So yeah, I put 14 minutes mostly for people who have some double unders to be like, I want you to push to try to finish this.
yeah. Because your top athletes are still going to finish this sub 10 minutes,
Right.
but you're giving an opportunity for someone to like barely scrape by because their double
Yeah.
unders are so awful and they get done in 13:13. And if it was an 11-minute time cap, 10-minute time cap, they just wouldn't finish. So you're just
Yeah.
and the workout for them, because you're gonna have so many big swaths of the population. For some people, this is going to be a double under workout. For other people, this
Yeah.
is going to be a tough strength workout. And then the rower, the nice thing about the rower that's different from the pull-ups is you're guaranteed those reps. Those are actually the reps that you kind of have to work the least for. If you just keep
Mhm.
pulling on that handle, the monitor is going to tick over eventually. So you could adjust how much effort you're putting into the rower there. But you're incentivized for going hard and getting it done as easily as possible and not burning out your grip and stuff like that. Versus the pull-ups, well, now there is a risk of no reps. You might not get your chin
Yep.
over the bar. You might have to do singles, and now the pull-ups take forever. So yeah, I like the combo, and I like situations in the open where it forces people to work on their holes a little bit.
Yeah. Because I was thinking like 8-minute time cap for it, but then I was thinking the athlete who, again, like, all right, I've only ever done like 30 double unders. And if they see 8-minute time cap, they're like, that's not enough time. I'm just going to scale this one. I want to give enough time for someone to go, okay, that's enough time that I can for sure get to at least 90 double unders. Like, I'm really going to have to fight for these.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's no easy way out, where
Right.
if it was like an 8-minute workout, the easy way out is like, well, I have to scale that. I can't do, over 100 double unders in this time. And now it's like, well, you got time now, No, that makes sense. The last workout. Yeah. And then the last workout, it's like the last workout should almost be like the big dogs workout.
Yeah.
Like, it could have spots that drop you off along the way, but then there's going to be spots where it's like, no, this is reserved. Sorry, sir, you stop here, and you're going to have to spend X amount of time trying to get PR the number of bar muscle ups you can, and you may not get
Yeah.
past round one. And there'll probably be like tie breaks and stuff in there. Where would you put the tie break after you finish each barbell?
Yes, exactly. So this is like very loosely, I changed it a lot, but it's very loosely based off of 18.3. So 18.3, I think, had the same time cap, but it was 2 rounds per time. I actually have it here, 2 rounds per time, but it had double unders in it. Yeah, so it was 2 rounds per time, 100 double unders, 20 overhead squats at the same weight, 100 double unders, 12 ring muscle ups, 100 double unders, 20 dumbbell snatches, 50, 35, 100 double unders, 12 bar muscle ups. And the big thing with that was that I remember doing it and I didn't get past the overhead squats.
Really?
And a
What was
lot
the
of
weight?
people didn't get past the overhead squats. 115.
How many of them?
115.80 is what it was. 20.
You didn't get past the overhead squats?
Nope.
Okay, wait. What year was this?
2018.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because all right. Today you'd get past them for sure. I mean, you can overhead squat like 245 now.
So I remember going into this and being like, okay, cool. I have muscle ups. Like, I have a few of them. Like, I can really get going, and I have double unders. And I remember doing it the first time and getting maybe like 12 overhead squats. And I remember the Monday where everyone redid it. And I came and I had new shoes. I had Metcons the first time, and I bought like on sale like these Reeboks that had a harder bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I put on my belt and I put on my wrist wraps, and I was able to get through the 20 overhead squats the next time. And then I got way farther in the workout because 100 double unders was not much for me. And then I got into the ring muscle ups. I may have finished them even. But the first time,
I can just picture this, Miguel. Your hair is way shorter.
Yeah.
You're way skinnier. you're wearing a blue Captain America shirt or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I remember coming in, and Peter Gannon was also there at the time, and he had the same idea where he was like, "Yeah, whatever, I'll get through." And he was telling me that the person and he was like, "Yeah, I'll go first. Like, I won't get any muscle ups, so you won't even have to judge me after that. Like, after I'm done with those double unders again, you can just start warming up for your set." And then he didn't make it past the overhead squats either. And he was like, I was just failing overhead squats for like 10 minutes straight. So I remember a lot of people got knocked off there. And I haven't seen something like overhead squats in the open in a long time. And I think that's something that would expose people who are like right on the line of RX, where they think that they can like move weight, but like that mobility, that stability isn't something that they train that often.
It's really weird, like because the overhead squat has popped up in the past a bunch of times, but not so much in recent times, right?
Yeah.
Especially now that we're down to 3. But it also seems like even in the programming, it doesn't pop up hardly at
Yeah.
all. So it's like it's just things that our community have moved past that, but now when they pop up, you're like, no one can do this anymore. And the importance isn't there anymore. And the overhead squat is wildly important. You watch those old videos, and you see like at the old level 1 seminar, they got the big dude and they got Nicole Carroll, and they're both going to overhead squat the same weight for max reps. And you see that big dude just crumble, and she's just buzzing through it because she's got the mobility and the strength. And it's just, I don't know. We got to get back. We got to get back to the roots here on the stuff that's important. It's like, okay, we literally use assault bikes more than we overhead squat, more than we do wall balls, stuff like that. And isn't it just so weird? Is is it lazy programming? Is it just like, just put a machine in there, just like, I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, I think everything is so reactionary, honestly. Like, it's the fact that nobody was doing dumbbells until it started getting put in the open. And now we see dumbbells a lot. And again, I think this, like, if this was the open this year and there was that much barbell, I think like barbell basics would come back a lot more. Like, again, like, I don't know the last time I've taught the overhead squat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I did a week or two ago, because we had that like segmented Nancy type workout, but we also ended up biking because we couldn't run. But that workout combo popped up a year before too, because I was talking to Allison and I'm like, Allison, do you remember like one of your first workouts was biking and overhead squats? And she's like, no, I don't remember that. But like, and because it was literally like a year ago, it was like deja vu. It's almost like they took last year's month program and just tweak a couple things here and there, and there's the new month, which that's a way to do it. But yeah, well, this is why we get to be creative in this situation and put our own things in there. So, any not closing thoughts, but any other thoughts or things that you wanted to communicate on your 3 weeks of open?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is that I'm trying to give everyone a chance. So like we said, with the double unders and the time cap and kind of using that as a way to go, if you have some double unders to work on them, I think similar with week 3, the pull-up bar skills are just 12 reps.
Yeah.
You can really fight for 12 chest to bar, I think. And we have some people in the gym who have toes to bar. They can't really string them together, but it's just 12.
Yeah.
So if you can hop up and do singles, you can get through them still in less than a minute.
And maybe like for like Maria, as just an example, she could do singles, and that maybe it takes her around 90-ish seconds to 2 minutes, but that's still a good time spent, and then she can do the overhead squat. The chest to bar pull-ups is kind of the next thing there, so we'd need to scale that. But Yeah, I think there's room for people to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost a shame that in the scaled variation of this, you'd have to change the toes to bar and then the pull up. You couldn't just be like, all right, scaled is also toes to bar,
Yeah.
and then the pull up is the thing that changes. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Well, let me let's do a little test here. Can you see the comments box? Like, is there are you full screen or do you see where it says show comments?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
you
the
can?
private chat, and then there's comments as well.
Oh, okay, maybe not. Oh, all
I
right,
see the test that you sent.
So click private chat. I'm gonna hit
Yep.
test, so you can
Yep.
see that. Okay, well I'll just post or copy paste mine into there. That way you can read it at the same time. I wrote yours down. That way we could talk about it. So okay, my first open workout is, as I was going through this, I was like, I want to try to keep this more classic CrossFit, and those types of like rounds, reps, schemes, things like that. And one of the favorites is Fight Gone Bad. So I use the Fight Gone Bad style. Oh my goodness, this is going to be all jumbled. This might not work. All right, that's how it's just going to post. But it's 3 rounds, 1 minute each exercise, and the exercises are pistols, double dumbbell deadlifts, wall walks, double dumbbell push press, toes to bar, and rest. And I played around with or I was torn on whether or not to include that 1 minute of rest still, and I decided to keep it there just because I feel like you're for a couple of reasons. One, it's definitely a psychological thing. Let's just let you sit for a minute and think about, all right, crap. I got to, in order to beat Miguel, I need 301 reps. And I just got 96 on this. And you just have just enough time to try to like rattle your brain. And then it's like 3, 2, 1, go. And you got to go again, so a little bit of just like thinking about the psychology and what might happen during that minute I wanted to keep. And to not take away from the last and first minutes where you might not continue to do toes to bar through the end of the time because you have to go to the pistols, and then the pistols might get shortchanged. Like, I wanted to just be a complete reset. And I like the Fight Gone Bad style because you could go for a lot of reps. It's easy to count. If you're running this in a class, you could just have a station, and of course everybody kind of has to start on the same station, but you can at least partner up multiple groupings to like follow each other through it, and hopefully it's not too much of an issue with running into one another. I picked the pistols. Originally I had air squats there, and then I noticed that I was getting very squat biased on all of my workouts. And I was like, have they done pistols in the open? And they have. And I was like, you know what? I should just do pistols there. And by putting a lot of these things like the pistol, the wall walk, and the toes to bar, if you're someone like who's just getting these skills, do what you can, right? You're going to get 3 minutes to do as many pistols or toes to bar as you can. That could be singles. It could be whatever, right? If you're someone who's a little more advanced, you could push yourself on these stations and get some high rep things. And then with the dumbbell deadlift, everybody could do that. And maybe it's a little heavy for you for the push press, but you still try. So I did try to make this, like, for my first one, like a very achievable one that like everybody could just go RX. And maybe there's a station that you just don't do well in, but the next time it comes up, you could advance the test as you get better. So that was kind of some of my thought process with it, is to make it very obtainable. It's the first one. You can do a lot of work, or you can not do a lot of work. Maybe gymnastics is tough for you, so that's going to be a little bit less. But sometimes the people who can't do a lot in the gymnastics can horse through the weight stuff. So there's like a little bit of where everybody can shine kind of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I see this as if you know that you got like, if it's alternating pistols, like you have to switch every leg. If you go, I only got 3 because I can't really do pistols on my left leg. So maybe I'll fight through 1 in that first minute, but really, that's really all I got. But you're a person who can do the heavy weight. Like you can kind of let yourself go easy on the pistols, go easy on the wall walks, because also if it's total reps, how many wall walks can you really do in a minute versus, all right, let's say I casually do 4 wall walks in the minute and I know that I can push press a bunch. I can make up those 4 reps because I feel a little bit more fresh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. Because I
And
would probably be the opposite, where like I do maybe an extra wall walk and then a bunch of toes to bar because I know the push press, I'm probably not going to get too many.
yeah. And this is very much a workout where you get what you put into it. There aren't really too many barriers holding you back. And it's also, I think if you were going to retest, it wouldn't be too detrimental to retest. And it could also get you going like, oh, I think I could have got more wall walks. I could have got 1 more wall walk each round. That's 3. I could have done this here. That's 5. So you can like start to figure things out. And people can do, like, even on the wall walk, they can do a lot. I remember one time Bill Becker did 10 in under a minute. So you could, again, it's like how much you're willing to go into the dark place on this thing. And I also, so that first station moved around a lot, the pistols. First, it was wall balls because I like the wall ball deadlift combo, and then going from the deadlifts to some kind of a handstand thing because of Diane. So you got like classic workouts that were like wall balls and deadlifts that killed the hams and quads. Then of course you have the classic comboing of deadlift and handstand skills. Then I was like, I want to use the wall ball elsewhere, so I'm going to take it out of there. And I also want it to be more unique than Fight Gone Bad. Like I also had a rower in here at one point, and I'm like, what? I don't want to steal any of those movements. The only one that really carries over is the push press, and now it's with dumbbells in a completely different spot. I wanted to do those things, and I kind of came down to this, and I was trying to find a spot in all my workouts. I knew I needed toes to bar. I could not have toes to bar, and I was like, all right, that's probably the perfect spot. And right before the 1 minute rest, it's like, hey, I was thinking back to the Matt Frazier, Rich Froning workout where Matt broke on the toes to bar, Rich didn't, and he ended up winning that workout by like three reps. And it's like, yeah, hold on to the pull-up bar until the time beats, or when are you going to take your breaks in that minute so that you can finish out the time by getting reps instead of coming down at 53 seconds and then, oh crap, trying to get back up there to get 1 more rep.
Yeah.
So
I think the pistols are a huge difference maker there. People's efficiency in pistols can that's an extra like 10 reps each minute just on how quick you can go from pistol to pistol. And I love it because that's a big no rep station as well.
Yep.
Where it's like, did you even stand up all the way before you hopped over to the next leg? Did you get low enough? Did your foot touch the floor? But it's like, if you're really good at pistols, that's a great station.
Yep. And all those gymnastics stations, like alternating gymnastics weight. It's like you could be crushing it on the dumbbells, but just getting dinged often with the no reps on the gymnastics. And it's like, all right, your gymnastics aren't as good as your weightlifting. You need to fix that type of deal.
Yep.
And also with the time domain. So the whole workout, the whole thing is going to last about 17 minutes. So like this was kind of like my one like longer one. I do have another AMRAP coming up, but like this one's a little different because there's also intervals, just 1 minute each station. All right, let me send workout number 2. Workout number 2, 15-minute AMRAP, 3 goblet squats with a 50 or 35-pound dumbbell, 6 burpees to a target, 6 inches, 9 crossover doubles, add 3 reps to each movement after each round. So we're gonna build as we go, and that might affect your pacing, how you're doing things. I think the burpees is definitely a trap in the middle of that if you just like crush the burpees early on.
Yeah.
The crossover double unders, that's kind of my new intro movement to the open for this whole thing. I'm like, hey, they are important, but if we never program them, everybody's just going to default to double unders.
Yeah.
And I remember when David Newman came during the games, he's like, there are so many skills for jump ropes. There's like over 50 of them I could teach to seminar, but the CrossFit just loves the double under, this one thing. And it's actually one of the easiest ones to get that we're all struggling to improve upon. So I was like, you know what? If we never do it, it's never going to be a thing. And I think even with the scaling, you could do crossover singles, right? I was going to potentially do crossover singles, and crossover singles or doubles was another thing that would have possibly been in that first station in the Fight Gone Bad workout. Because, all right, I'm just making you do it for 3 minutes. But then I figured some people might just not even participate, right?
Yeah.
On that one. So I have to move it to a point where like you have to try or you're going to burn in this workout. So to say, adding the reps, we've done workouts like this before. You're always caught off guard once you get into like 3 or 4 rounds in and the volume starts to catch up with you. Goblet squats hit differently than like squats up here. So I just wanted that weird thing that I know no one does, and it's just going to kick them right in the teeth. And I really like that one open workout that we had with it was burpees over the bar and goblet squats, right? With a dumbbell. Was it goblet squats or was it 2 dumbbells?
It was 2 dumbbells. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So I was even remembering that wrong. So maybe we haven't done a goblet squat before. So just holding that in a different spot. I did debate about making the burpee target higher. It has been over 10 years since the 6-inch standard was announced, and G.I. Jane is to 12 inches. So I thought about doing that, but just not every gym is going to be able to do that. Like, it's just like where are the pull-up bars on your walls? Like that needs to be just something that's a little bit more, that's like we are building the rig to be to this height, So I felt like making it 12 inches might punish affiliates, and I don't want to do that because I know the pain.
Yeah, because I don't even know how. Like, if we had not even a full class, how you would organize everyone to make sure that because it's one thing where it's like, all right, for jumping, you just have to stack plates to, for hands to reach. But for like jumping pull-ups and things, so you can kind of adjust where, you put the plates and all of that. But yeah, if it's just straight up jumping to it, because you don't want people to be jumping off of plates.
No. Then it's like, it's still not 12 inches then if you're up on the plate. Like, it has to be above your max reach. So I was like, this is going to be a nightmare. I won't do that. So yeah, I imagine that there'd be controversy around the CrossFit, the crossover double unders. But it's like, all right, that came out at what games, right? That was like what, 2021, 2022?
Yeah, I think it's been like 3 years.
So it's been 3 years. It pops up in the programming every now and then. I would want to revive it and be like, this is an important thing. Because if you go back in the journal, there were all kinds of jump rope skills, practice things, learn and play new sports. Like it's in the theme and it's in the methodology of like, it shouldn't just be black and white, single, double. That's it. Right. And then they tried triple unders, which that's a whole other thing. And I wouldn't want to do triple unders here. I think this is way more accessible than triple unders.
Yeah.
There's kids doing this, but it's just going to take some practice. So what better way to force people to practice? And hey, it might be and this is where people might get mad. Your workout, Miguel, 3, 2, 1, go. You do 3 goblet squats. You do 6 burpees to a target. You spend 14 minutes trying to do crossover singles, which I think too, in the rep scheme I picked, I think people would be surprised. And like, even if it took you a minute or 2 or 3, you're still going to get back to the next round. Like,
Right.
and the people who do, there's big separators for the lower ranks of people. Like, all right, it's just one at a time. All right, and there, and got it. All right, that was one. You know, like, or if you have to scale, go to the like Abby would just do crossover singles like nothing. So if Abby was doing this workout scaled, she would just fly right through it. It wouldn't be a problem, right?
Yeah.
It's just what can you what can you do kind of a deal. So I don't know. What do you think about this one? What do you think about the rep scheme? Starting low and then building.
Yeah, I think the even like you said, like by round 3, the goblet squats are going to be more taxing than you think.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh yeah, I just picked that up very quickly, but now I'm in the middle of it and I realize that I have to do 9 of them. And you're like, oof, yeah, let me actually get set. Because those first 2 sets, the 3 especially, you're probably just picking that up and just going. Like, you don't even care to like get set. By 9, you have to like fully be there. And then
by 9, that's 18 total you've done.
Yeah.
At that point. If I could have, I would have made it heavier. The only reason I didn't is because 50s are way more common. And all right, like the dumbbells are out there. People know they have to have dumbbells. 50, 35 is kind of the standard. Unless we're going to keep ramping it up, I don't know if all of a sudden I need to spark a buying spree on 70-pound dumbbells or kettlebells. Like even so, if this was kettlebell, our gym would be okay because we have a lot of 70-pound kettlebells, and maybe this does need to be a kettlebell instead of a dumbbell, and it could be at that point 70-53 because those are standard CrossFit things. I just don't know how many gyms have it though, because I don't know how many gyms even still do kettlebell things. You know, that's another skill that kind of doesn't pop up like it did back in the old days. Even though there's benchmark workouts with kettlebell swings in them. There's 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you think that would make this workout better, though, if it was 70-53?
I think you have to be more mentally ready for the goblet squats, which you might not need to be just because it's like there's so much time that you're taking on those crossovers.
Yeah.
And then even the burpee to a target, like you have to pay attention.
Yeah. This is the weight on the goblet squat here is a political move. Like not to upset people too much or we got to buy this or that. Going back to workout 1, I also, or in overall in all these workouts, I also wanted to do ab mat sit-ups. Super easy to make a standard for it. Hands touch this line, you know, behind you, and then touch a line in front of your toes or whatever it is, you know. But I didn't do that because I didn't want to go.
That does not sound easy.
Oh, hitting those lines? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just making people meet the standard.
Yeah, because you have to think too, like people are going to shift as they're doing ab mat sit-ups. So like, unless you like have them butterfly and then tape, but then, yeah, again, like if your ab mat shifts and then like people, it's the same thing with like the handstand push-ups when they did it based on like your femur.
Yeah.
And like, if you have the measure and you're like, but my arms are short and they, you know.
Yeah. Or if you're like, touch your hands above your head, some people be like, can I just get it right? And it's like, I hate this. This is the most stupidest thing ever. Just like, instead of just going like that, like it means anything. But yeah, in trying to program these more obscure, harder to judge skills, I see the roadblocks that you would get into. You're like, all right, people are just going to make this dumb. Versus like, you can't make the crossover dumb. The crossover itself doesn't get dumb. It just exposes you because you can't do them, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of a deal. So, All right. Final workout. This one went under a lot. All right. It's a 2-part workout. 2 scores.
Mm.
Actually, I'm just going to post 1 part at a time. That way it doesn't get too wordy in the comments here. So part 1, from 0 to 10 minutes, complete a 2K row. And that's a score all on its own. I don't think they've done this in the CrossFit Open. The 2K row used to be one of the most feared workouts that could possibly pop up if you were going to like get after it and do it right. It's something that's very obtainable for everybody. So everybody could do this part RX, and we could start to also have like, all right, what's the record for CrossFit overall worldwide? You know, you'll see some people do some crazy things. Maybe we'll see some games athletes go sub 7. Maybe some rowers out there will crush it. Like Shai just showed me a video of a guy doing a 1K row, the world record, in 1 minute and 19 seconds.
Yeah. Yep.
You saw that too?
Yep.
Isn't that insane?
It really is. It really is.
That guy's done in a 1K, and I'm still rowing 300 meters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How upsetting would that be to see him get off the rower? Because it's like a 250-meter row would take about a minute. So if I'm going to go for another 100 meters, he's done with 1,000K. That's insane. So I think this is where I would use it as like an opportunity of like, let's invite some freak rowers to the Open announcement and watch them just blow out the 2K row. And like, because again, like, show the community what can be done. Bring it back on like, hey, rowing is foundational, and there's so much science behind it, and other sports that you can do. Sign up for a rowing competition, whatever it may be, or just get into the intricacies of the monitor. There used to be CrossFit rowing seminars, and it just used to be like a bigger, I feel, more respected thing. Now it's just a calorie machine. I'm like, all right, everybody just do the calories and let's put reps on it. And we used to talk about the graphs on it. Like, you could just bring everything back down to foundational, and let's put the value back on the rower. And it is more valuable than the bike. And look, the bike can never get to this level on having its own pedestal moment in the Open. But the rower can. And then, so let's say you get that done 7 minutes. You get to rest the remaining time. The part 2 starts at the 10-minute mark. And then this is what you would do. Let me second. So the score is the time to finish. You would do 3 rounds, 21 pull-ups, just chin over the bar, 21 wall balls, into 2 rounds, 15 bar muscle-ups, 15 hang power clean and jerks at 155, 105, then 1 round of 9 ring muscle-ups and 9 squat snatches, 185, 125. I went through a lot of different iterations of this. Originally, it was 3 rounds of each of these. Then I made it 3, 2, 1. Originally, the weights were different. It was just 135, 95 for both barbells because I wanted to make it a little more accessible. But then I figured if it's 10 minutes, because originally I didn't have the row part in there, and I didn't want this whole thing to take longer than 20 minutes. But I think the way I have it now for an elite athlete is definitely finishable in less than 10 minutes. But it might be for the beginner or intermediate athlete, your part 2 workout is 3 rounds of 21 and 21. Like, that might take you the whole 10 minutes. And there it is. You're done with the Open. And look, you were able to do what you were able to do. The next level up is for the next type of athlete who we would expect to try to get through that, or they might get stuck in the middle of that. And then the elites will definitely finish that second part. And then now it's like, are you going to do all 9 muscle ups unbroken? by that point, are you going to not get no reps on the muscle snatch? Are they singles? Are you going to touch and go? I made it small just for like the strategy wise of it. Because also it might change if it was more than one round. I don't know. What do you think about this? This is one that might need to be workshopped continuously, but this is the idea.
The way that it is now, I'm not doing this workout. Part one, I already hate it. Already hate it. I was hoping, I was like, all right, if I just get my row at 9:59, cool. And then I'll do something cool with the barbell for part two. But more cardio stuff, because I don't think I'm making it past the 3 round. I'm not making it past the 3 rounds of the pull-ups and wall balls.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I like it because I think
somewhere like the 8-minute mark. You don't think so?
Not if I have to do stuff after.
Mm.
I don't know.
True.
Like because I mean, I obviously don't row very often, but
yeah,
like I don't know if I've got that in me because of I think because of the monitor, like knowing what pace I'll have to hold, seeing the 500-meter split and going like, all right, I'm drifting to 2.5 minutes per 500. This is not good. And then having to like push at the end just to finish and then going, all right, 21 pull-ups after my arms are probably cooked, and then 21 wall balls, which as we know, I don't do. So yeah, that would be tough.
And being a shorter athlete, the wall balls aren't our friend. Well, and that's the thing, like the row rewards effort with a little bit of rest. But if you're going to be on the line, you get buried in the workout. But also I like with that, I'm like giving just 10 minutes to do the 2K row. With 10 minutes, most of our athletes finish in less than 10 minutes. But you might get that beginner who everyone's around their rower screaming at them. They're pulling and they just get it. Like, so I feel like that first part is like moments too that could be built either for CrossFit media or like a gym, or that'll be something that people will remember, right? Like if this was your first open and you just first time 2K row, your body's on fire and you just get it in 9:57, and people are freaking out. So I feel like that's like moments. And then the next part is like, all right, let's go, boys. Like if you get 1 bar muscle up, there's a big separator. If you get 1 ring muscle up, that's a big separator. So it's like, how can you get? And then for the elites, it's like you're all going to the games anyways. You're not really using this to go to the games. It's like just finish it in 6 minutes already and put on a show type of a deal. So that's why I also wasn't too worried about like, oh, it's got to be 3 rounds of 9 and 9 or something like that. I was like, yeah, just sprint through this kind of a deal.
I think I would be interested in seeing this one as the announcement, because I think you also get games athletes who do not finish part 2.
Think so.
Because as it gets announced, that part 2, they're like, oh, what do I do for the row? And then they're like, you got 30 minutes to do this. And then they send out the like regular people to like as sacrificial lambs. And they're like, let's see what they do. But that's not enough time, I don't think, to like really know what you're doing here. Like you just have to go hard. But I think people get to maybe even games athletes, I think they like are starting that 1 round of ring muscle ups and squat snatches. Because that's fast.
Yeah.
I like it for them, not for me.
for them. I like, so as you know, I'm against retesting. So the first one, not too big of a deal if you want to retest it. But do you want to go through the pain of fight gone bad multiple times in a row to try to squeak out extra reps, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a deterrent, maybe not. If you just got buried by the crossover doubles, all right, you could retest that workout over and over again and try to get more, which just means you're practicing those crossover doubles more often, which is what I want you to do. But you're not going to be maybe hurting yourself because you're not getting to those upper levels of goblet squats and the burpees to target, right?
Yeah.
This one, if you want to retest it, you got to do the row again, Miguel. And then
Yeah.
now what happens if you don't do as good on the row part? How are you going to keep going into the second part? Because you can't take a row score from your first attempt and a part 2 score from your second or third attempt. You have to do the whole thing. So do you see my petty way of putting in the row in there is like, hey, retest it if you want. You might blow that awesome row score you got and then not do well in part 2. You have to perform well in both parts to make retesting worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Agreed.
that was the only way I could think of to like, all right, fine, retest it at your own peril, kind of a deal.
Yeah. No, again, I really like that third workout for like elite level, because I think that's like when you watch the YouTube videos where they're like, oh, week 3 of the Open, and you see them like do it on Friday. And then they're like, yeah, I'm going to redo it. And it's Saturday night. And they start, and then they finish the row, and then they go like this, and they just call it. And then they go, all right, we're going to go again on Monday. We're going to come up with a better plan, because it's like, yeah, again, if you can't get past that row in a time that makes sense, or like you'll know it at least, let's say you get a couple seconds faster on the row, but you're in that second round of the 21s and you're like, no, this isn't the one either. It makes sense to just stop and like, we'll try again. So I'd be interested to see like elite level for this.
And you did the same thing. Like we left our heavy hitter gymnastic stuff for the last workout. But I kind of feel like if you have 3 workouts, all right, make the first one really accessible, get everybody rub their shoulders, get everybody comfy into the open. Hey, we're all friends here, right? Then workout 2, beat them up a little bit, and then workout 3, whether that be physically or their ego or both. And then workout number 3, it's like, hey, this just a reminder, we are looking for the fittest on earth. And this is one of the things that you can use to advance. And also, how good are you? And I wanted to have a thing where it would, I didn't want to do a gated workout where like you would do X amount of thrusters and pull-ups and then every 4 minutes it changes. I want to do the gated part this way on like, you could get that 1 bar muscle up or that one thing that separates you, or at least you'll be dropped off along the way. And it's very clear on where your level is. And there's like countless people who their level is pull-ups and wall balls. That's you. And then there's other people who their level is like, oh, bar muscle ups coming along nicely. You had to do sets of 3 and stuff like that. And it took you a majority of your time. And you just barely got all the clean jerks, although that was a little heavy at 155. And then there's like, here's the elite thing, the ring muscle ups and the squat snatches, especially making it a squat snatch, I think too. Like I could have made that like a power snatch, but I'm like, let's not take the easy way out. Whoever gets there deserves to get there. But now they have that person. If they did get there, I would expect them to be able to do this, right? Like it's not like a freebie. When Colt Mertens gets there, he's probably going to try to do the ring muscle ups. What, 1 to 2 sets? Do you think that guy goes unbroken on the muscle ups?
I think if you're the type of person that gets there, one, you have to. You don't have enough time to break it up. So you're at least attempting to go. Like if you miss or if you realize you can't get the next one, that's the only reason that you drop. Because again, that 10 minutes, it's tight. Because I mean, even those 3 rounds, that's 63 pull-ups that you're doing and 63 wall balls.
Yeah.
Just like logistically speaking, that's tough enough to get through time-wise.
Yeah.
Because that's the quickest you can get that first part done is what, like 4 minutes? If you're like flying.
Let's say it's a generous minute each, which 21 wall balls shouldn't take a minute, but let's just say it's transitions back. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be 6 minutes right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think though, if you're doing butterfly pull-ups and stuff, you're gonna burn through those. Like, so it's just like what is the type of athlete to get through that super fast? You have to do the wall balls unbroken, But for me, who's gonna have to do like 7, 7, 7 on the wall balls or like sets of 5 and stuff because wall balls suck. That's a 10-minute workout. Yeah. I was debating. So this would be one where it might be like, okay, this is we're at the ranch. We're with Castro. This is on the board. We got a guy over there in the corner, and we got Mike in there too. He's going to help us out. He's going to test it, and we decide, you know what? It's got to be 2 rounds in one, or it's got to be 2, 1, 1, or something like so. This might be something that like changes. Although I do like it this way. I do want to see people can definitely do 21 pull-ups in less than a minute, 21 wall balls in less than a minute. Let's say if it takes you a minute 15 to do both, well, there's your nearly 4 minutes that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
The bar muscle ups. There's some people out there that can power through the bar muscle ups. That 115 or 155 clean and jerk, hang power clean and jerk. Are people doing that unbroken? I don't think so. Especially by that point.
Yeah, because you're doing jerks. I don't know if you're doing that unbroken. It's not like super heavy.
Yeah.
But like, again, you just done 63 pull-ups and then you've done 15 bar muscle ups. So at least so if I was like someone's coach, they just announced it like elite level. One, I would be like, you have to be flawless. You can't mess up any of these if you want to finish. I would say you have to break up both of the 15s. So bar muscle ups, like, because I'm worried about your hands as well.
Yeah. Because you also just did a tough 2K row, which was worth its own thing. It was a buy-in, but it's also points on the leaderboard. Who's going to be number one for that? So I had thought about other rep schemes like 18, 12, 6, go down by 6. Or like a 15, 12, 9, keep the last one at 9 because 6 kind of felt like maybe a little too easy at that point.
Yeah.
But the problem I was running into is the wall ball at that point where it's like, okay, the more I reduce the reps, the more meaningless the wall ball kind of starts to become, especially for those upper levels. It could be that it's, let's say if it was 15 pull-ups, 15 thrusters, at 135.95, and then it goes to 12, 155, then 9. So like the wall ball doesn't have to stay in there. I liked it because that's what the average Joe can do, and it wouldn't be a problem. And like, so I was trying to build it like that, where it's like part 1 with the row, part 2 with those 3 rounds. That's your whole open workout. Don't worry about this other part. You ain't getting there. But for you other people that can try and get there and do that first part in 3 minutes, when I got 7 minutes to try to get to the rings and other stuff. But I still won't know if it's unobtainable by anyone unless we tested it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And we need to find a good enough athlete that could do it RX and push through it to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd have to like tag off. Like I do all the pull-ups, I tag in someone else. They do the wall balls, muscle ups, and then tag in Schaff and have him do the hang power clean and jerks, just to see like, all right, yeah. Like we'd really have to, like we'd have to like do a team of 3 between like me, Mike, and Schaff to see what like a fast time could look like.
Let me ask you this. Maybe the time parameter is the thing that's off. Like the reps and everything are fine. You can keep them like that, keep the wall ball. Maybe it's from 10 to 25. You add on another 5 minutes. Does that make this a better test, and does it make it a better workout? Where now there is still the opportunity for the elite people to do it in less than 10 minutes or get right around 10 minutes. And we will get to see people finish it, I think, definitely at that point. But if you're still the guy who is struggling in that middle part, you're just going to get a couple more bar muscle ups, maybe.
Right.
It's a big maybe. And it still might. And then the person who that 3 rounds, that is their workout, it might still take them around 10 minutes. And then they do have the opportunity to try to get their first bar muscle up. Now you got 5 minutes to try. So would that fix anything, do you think?
I don't know. I think this is it's very much an execution workout. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think the separators are still the separators. It's just such a wide range. Like, again, like for me, like I'm good at pull-ups. I still don't know if I make it past those 3 rounds. I mean, like you can add in 5 minutes, and I think then I can get past that. But again, I think I'm still in that like first round of bar muscle ups, just with the fatigue of everything else. And I'd say I'm pretty proficient. Like I feel like if you don't have a muscle up, I don't think you make it past the 3 rounds of 21 pull-ups anyway.
No, I don't think so.
Like, I don't think this is a first muscle up workout.
Yeah. Because after the 2K row and after the 63 pull-ups, whatever bar muscle up you had might be gone by that point, because your legs are also fried too.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a prerequisite, I think. I think if you can't do a bar muscle up already, you're not making it through 63 pull-ups.
Yeah.
Like you're having to drop every few pull-ups if you can't do a bar muscle up, most likely.
Are there any CrossFit Open workouts that haven't been finished?
Probably not.
Okay. But is this unfinishable?
No. I like looking at it, I do think that people could. Again, I think it's like, hopefully you're not the person who's at the announcement that day.
Yeah.
Because I think you and your coach genuinely have to sit down and like crunch numbers.
And I think that's a good thing.
Like,
to like,
because I think your coach
get you.
Yeah, I think your coach has to go like, you're only doing this once. Like, set the tone early and be like, if we want to finish this, this is how we're gonna have to do it.
CrossFit Open 25.3 with the wall walks, the row, the deadlift, the cleans, adding the different weights, the snatches, 20-minute time cap. So people were finishing all that in 20 minutes. Barely. I don't think this is too much more, though. Plus, the transitions are tight, too. You're just pull-up bar, wall ball, pull-up bar, wall ball. You're tight right there.
Right.
Then you got to go pull-up bar to your barbell. That's also right there. So it's not like I'm making you walk across the room to get to a rower and then do this and that, you know.
Yeah, no.
Or change. You do have to change weights.
And jerks. I think clean and jerks is where you get it, though.
Where you get what?
Where, like, that's going to be tougher.
Yep. Originally, it was just
the jerk,
just the cleans. It was just cleans originally. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't gone overhead. Well, I went overhead week 1, and then I guess I did the wall walks too, and then reach overhead for the burpee. So, you know what? If this was just jerks, like you just got to clean up there once and do 15 jerks, no hang power clean.
Yeah,
That
if
could,
you did like a shoulder to overhead, I think that changes it.
yeah. Interesting. We got to find some games athlete to do this.
Right. Yeah.
We'll slide into Colton Merton's DM. Hey, there's a crisp $20 bill. You can just test this out for us.
Yep.
Do part 1, then do part 2. And he comes back and he's like, oh, yeah, I got the 2K row done in like 7:05. And then I got part 2 done in 8:02. And we're like, all right, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe even if things needed to be extended, it didn't have to be to 25 minutes. It could be like, all right, to 22. You got like from 10 to 22, you got 12 minutes. So it's almost like there's a 12-minute time cap to do this. If 10 ultimately in testing seems to be too aggressive, and then playing around with cleans and jerks or no cleans or only jerks, that could. And the thing I like about the shoulder and overhead is the clean doesn't count, which means you shouldn't drop it as often because now you're doing worthless reps. So I do like that aspect of that part. That's why I would lean more towards jerks only or shoulder overhead versus just cleans. Like doing just cleans just makes it easier in a different way. All right, well that's my mock open there. There was so many things I wanted to do that there just wasn't time. The hand release push-ups. I was thinking about doing some kind of an Angie thing where it was 100, 100, 100, and I kind of nixed that. What else? Back squats, overhead walking lunges at one point, dumbbell snatches. But I'm like, you know what? Like dumbbell snatches are like an all the time type of thing.
Yeah.
Were there any? Did you have any honorable mention workouts that like you're like, all right, I have one, but it's like scrapped off to the side or something?
No, not really. I mean, I feel like it's been a while since it's just been like straight up handstand push up.
Yeah.
At least a couple years. So I would like to see just a handstand push up. No crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously they like change up the rules, but I think if you just do the like strip of line, like your hands just has to be on the line at some point, then that's good. Because I'd like to get it inverted that way. I think we've gotten to like, yeah, you did a wall walk, inverted. Like I want to see like the pressing from there. I think that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're due for handstand push-ups. And since it is a movement that used to pop up so often years before, I don't think it's something that CrossFit needs to shy away from or be bashful about doing.
Right.
Especially if you do it like in the second or third workout. Like have the like wasn't this past open the first workout like a 15-minute AMRAP of lunging and burpees and dumbbell snatches, maybe something like that?
Yeah, it was the unweighted lunges.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like have the first workout be just the intro. It's almost like it's a warm up. It's like to get everyone's momentum going for the open, and then like oh, all right, Dave Castro got us. There's handstand push-ups. I don't got them, but I'll do this other thing. I think that's fine. I was playing around with the idea of you would go for a heavy, let's say, clean or jerk, and then a heavy snatch or something like over the course of a workout, you'd keep going heavy and you would get a score for each of the individual movements, but also the total. That way, if I was trying to figure out a way to design a workout that had multiple weighted components where, let's say if you were really, really good at the clean and jerk, but not so good at the snatch, you're still kind of dinged a little bit for maybe taking too easy on the snatch or not pushing the snatch, because the total counts as well. And if the total counts, then you kind of have to like push both of them as far as you could, versus be like, yeah, I'll just get a 75-pound snatch, save my energy, then I'll go crazy on a clean and jerk, and I'll win that one because I don't expect to win the snatch. So I was trying to play around with something like that, and it might not have even been those movements, but like to have a total as part of the component. And then I was also thinking about a handstand hold, where every second would count as a rep, and you could even go. The thing is, if you go on the wall, some people can hold that for 5 years, right? But maybe if you had the RX be freestyle, and then the scale be up against the wall with certain, parameters, maybe that would be a little bit different. But I don't know. I was kind of thinking about some kind of a hold. I was also thinking about plank hold, but the thing with that is some people can hold a plank for 10 minutes, know. But it would have been another. Essentially, what kind of happened was the 2K row took over that thing of like where there's something that almost everybody can do, and you could have an unassumed person be the hero. Like, it's like, all right, there's like, Betty, who's been coming to the gym for 3 months, and she's going to hold the plank longer than anyone else in the affiliate, and her arms are shaking, and it's been 12 minutes, and then the row essentially took over that like thought process. But I do think it'd be interesting to have some kind of a hold in there. What do you think about holds?
I don't love them for regular judges.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Because like when they did it for like the games, or even if they do it for quarterfinals, it's like you can have your running clock show in the background and then kind of have someone with the stopwatch. Because I'm assuming it's like your longest hold, or are you doing like aggregate?
I didn't even get that far. I thought about both. I'm like, it's a one-time max effort, or you get 3 attempts, or like you can add together scores. So I didn't really even get that far before I ditched it.
Because I think the seconds would be weird, where it's like you're looking at the big clock, and then it's just a second, but like, did you start counting at the beginning of that second, or right as it was about to change over? And then the same thing when they drop. Are you then looking up at the clock, or are you looking as they're dropping and then like timing it that way? Like, yeah,
as
I think you could get
up, you're hitting the thing,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does have its problems, and that's the handstand definitely has a lot of problems, and that's where I was like, all right, well, what about a plank? And I'm like, oh, it would be cool, but like the thing is, some people are going to just blow it out, and then it's like, how long do we make the event? And then what if if you put a 10-minute cap on that and people are hitting it, but they could have gone longer, then the cap should have been longer. Or you have all these people that are just maxing it out, then what's the divider? How do they not all just score the same? Complexes too. I was debating about a dumbbell complex. Not even like a format. These are just like ideas. Like, all right, dumbbell complex, nothing else, But so eventually I just came to these things, but I think we got some solid opens. I would like to do either one of these. There's a little bit of everything. There's some exposure to skills. We still kept double unders alive in some kind of a way, which I think that's the one movement, right, that has never not been in the open at this point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So we'll see what's going to come up. Any predictions on what we might see in the actual open? Is it going to be as cool as our workouts? What do you think?
I don't know. Just because last year I wasn't actually signed up, but yeah, I think they've been moving towards more accessible, and I'm kind of wondering what that means in terms of what they're able to do. Like, just thinking out of like, oh yeah, they did unweighted lunges. That's so weird to me. I get why that's like a workout one thing, but I think, yeah, I kind of want to, I'm curious as to what they're going to do, like what their route is for this. If it's just going to be like, because I think again, the whole like qualification thing, I think they might make it, because last year there wasn't quarterfinals.
True. Yeah.
So I think with the bringing back quarterfinals, I think they're going to want more separator type of workouts to make it clear, like these are the quarterfinal athletes. So I think the difficulty does go up a little bit more in the movements this year.
Yeah. I think last year was it was a hard year because it's the first starting of the game season post Lazar, right?
Yeah.
So and signups are down and you're trying to like entice people to sign up and make it more accessible, things like that. And there is no quarterfinals, like you said. Now we're a year after it. We had another successful games. The community's kind of come together a little bit better. I would hope that bringing back quarterfinals doesn't mean, okay, well, these are quarterfinals exercises. These are open exercises, which means the softer stuff goes here. The next level stuff goes up here. It's like,
Yeah.
It'd be like, all right, for my final workout, it's just going to be a 10-minute AMRAP of pull-ups and wall balls. That's the open level. You'll do those bar muscle ups and ring muscle ups and squat snatches at the next one. I don't like it when they do that. I think it's like, no, let's use the stuff, don't tell us we should scale. Let us find out when we try to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I think you can still, like, if you look at both of our first, like both of our first two workouts are very accessible. So I don't know why they're not thinking about accessibility the way that we kind of approached it. And like, so you just did a lightweight and burpees. Simple.
Right.
Crazy hard. Your lungs are going to be on fire for that first one. And you're going to have some grit to you if you want to like really get through it. The second one, very accessible again on the weights for the thruster. 9565 has been around for over 20 years. It's like, it doesn't get any basic than that. And then, all right, double unders. Like, and then it's not till the third one that we kind of like up the stakes a little bit. Mine, you just got to move for a minute. All right, you only got one toes to bar. Try to do two this next one. Like, so I don't know. What do you think? Where do you think their head is at when they're not like programming it that way, but they kind of like water things down? It's almost like a little bit too basic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think last year was a weird year for sure. But yeah, like you're saying, like accessibility doesn't mean just basic movements. Like again, they're the components of like intensity, and it's, the best people are going to go faster. So it's like even dual weight that like, even in my third one, like 115.85 isn't crazy, especially if you're elite. Like you can do all those movements unbroken, but it is a separator for like, all right, you might have some, but not a bunch. But if you're great, like you can go fast, and that's going to be the separator there. And then of course the skill movements, they're not a high number, so you can still try them, but the best of the best are going to go super fast through them. Whereas like, I don't think you have, because I think when you go walking lunges, anybody, like regular folks shouldn't be competing with the games athletes, if that makes sense. Like it's like doing just a workout of rower and wall balls where it's, everyone can do it, but at a certain point, like the rep speed is the rep speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do barbell stuff and it's like you can choose to go fast or not. I think that changes it.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think you're right in that no matter what you put down, the elite and the top athletes are going to just crush it. And but like what I try to do is provide opportunities too for the people that aren't the elite athletes. And it's like, because remember, part of how we market the Open a little bit is, hey, this is your annual physical checkup. This is your, your annual test. How has your training been going all year? Well, hey, here you're going to have 3 rounds that's going to contain 3 minutes of toes to bar. Let's see how your toes to bar are going. You're essentially going to do 3 max effort attempts, to get reps. And then now you could redo that workout periodically throughout the year and be like, I'm getting more toes to bar. I'm getting more toes to bar, versus like the walking lunges workout. It just kind of seems like the lunges were in there just to fill space and separate the other 2 movements. And I kind of never want to do this workout again,
Yeah.
It wasn't really fun where it's like I find the Fight Gone Bad workout fun. So I find that workout overall to be fun. I find your burpee workout to be fun in more of like the twisted way of like the pain way.
Right.
Also the scary way, because burpees and snatches together are one of the combos that I would say are scary. Like there's other combos like thrusters and pull-ups, scary. Deadlifts and handstand push-ups, fun. I know it's going to be hard, but it doesn't like get the butterflies in my stomach like the other 2, where I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't prepare as much as I wanted to for the pain I'm about to endure. And also I don't want to quit and people are watching me and no, I can't quit. Like it's just a whole nother thing, But like that burpee workout with the lunges doesn't challenge me in that way. It's like, I'll just trudge along and I'll just wait for the 15 minutes to go out. Like when I did do that workout, it did feel too long, 15 minutes. So it's like, none of your workouts feel too long. The 15 minutes, maybe that could be long in testing with the crossovers on like, I've been spending 12 minutes, but like, that's also like your punishment for not working on them, because that's how it used to be done. It's like, oh, double unders are first. What do you mean they're first? I have to actually try now. Like that's the whole. So we'll see what happens. Neither one of us had a max lift in there. Does a max lift need to be in the open?
I mean, it hasn't been in a while.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
I'd like to see one though. I think that'd be fun though.
Didn't we do the first year? What was the first? Was it 2021? The shuttle runs, burpee pull-ups, and then I had a heavy thruster in there, or was that 2022?
That was one that I remember I didn't do that year. So that may have been either 23 or 21. I want to say it was 23.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to figure out like heavy back squat would be suspect, maybe.
Yeah.
Just on like, I wouldn't want anyone like, there's just too many people. Like then there's the videos of people getting buried, getting pulled over, everyone not squatting to death because as the weight goes up, they don't. It almost feels like the deadlift is like the best one to have everyone do, because that is where like, like the average Joe guy could beat like the top athlete in the gym. He's like, all right, you may be able to do all the gymnastic stuff and everything else and beat me on the burpees, but here's my 500-pound deadlift. Now I get to be the hero,
I do, because again, I'm thinking about like elite scores and video review. So I think it has to be like a lift. Because if you wear all black, sweatpants and top, and you're doing your deadlift, you really don't have to lock it out at the top, depending on where that camera has to be angled for the other moves.
Yeah.
Because again, they probably won't want you to move the camera when you start the max lift.
So it's got to be clean and jerk or something.
Yeah. I think it's got to be something that it's like, let's just look at the end of it.
Yeah. Did it go from the floor and end out overhead? And we're just looking to see if everything was stacked. Yeah, it's hard. It definitely is. It's definitely not an easy thing. Well, we've been discussing the open. We did some open prep yesterday. We programmed our own open. Are you Are you feeling now like, oh, I might end up doing the open?
Yeah, I honestly, yeah. But it really depends on that first workout, which again, I think they know that a lot of
Yeah.
people are like that. So they're gonna make it, for me, it's not like easy or accessible. It's like it has to be interesting enough for me to want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why you hopped into class yesterday? Just on like, just covering the bases in case I accidentally fall into this CrossFit Open.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hadn't taken out my jump rope in a while. And then I am a bit heavier, so I was curious on the muscle ups. So
How'd they go?
yeah, they went well. Yeah. I didn't rip. Definitely got to the point where like my hands were starting to like almost get slidey.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I probably could have saved maybe 20 to 30 seconds. Um, but overall, yeah, I think it was, I think percentile wise, if that was like an open workout, I think that's like 90 something percentile where I was at, just because of the volume of both high skill
Okay.
movements.
And the week before, you did that partner workout with rowing and toes to bar, and was it all in wall ball. Wait, was there rowing, or is it just wall balls and toes to bar?
Did I do that or did I coach that?
I think you did it. You were Celestino's partner.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that one I very much scaled. No, that I don't think there was rowing. It was the holds with it.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
wall balls, toes to bar, and overhead lunges with the wall ball.
Hmm. Well, it's good. You're getting the Metcons under the belt, and that way you're not totally blindsided. I too want to see the first workout, and then I keep thinking, all right, I didn't want to be like tied up with the open, but then again, it's like, all right, I'm gonna be there anyways on those Saturdays. It's only like if you just do it then, it's not tying up before and after. Because I also am not concerned with doing anything with it. I'm just gonna like do it. So I'm probably gonna end up signing up for the open. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. This is what happened. Because also as I was telling the group yesterday that like I regret not signing up every year since being involved with CrossFit. I'm like, so we're just gonna do it again. Like the open is gonna finish, and I'm just gonna be like, I should have just signed up and done it. Because
Yeah.
as soon as it's open, as soon as it's done, I would have been like, oh, and it's behind me. Now we're
Yeah.
in April. Now we're in May, and I should have just done it. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm on like
gonna do
a
it
every other year streak
every other year.
where it's like I did it 2022, didn't do 2023. I think because of proximity with the Arnold. And then the next year we did do it the day after we got back from the Arnold, and then didn't do it last year. So I don't know. This might be my back in year.
Yeah. It is cool that at Wadapalooza, which I think is happening in March, they're going to set it up so you can do the open workout, or they're going to do the announcement there, and then the public can do the open workout on the competition floor.
Yeah.
And USAW is also going to be there, and you can qualify for nationals in like the little weightlifting event that they're going to do at Wadapalooza. Boy, they're really turning that event into something big and like multifaceted. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool that USAW is getting involved with it. I don't know if they stream it though. I don't know if I've ever seen Wadapalooza outside of like just the clips of people doing double unders barefoot out of the ocean swim and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
haven't
Maybe
seen
the company does it live and loud. I don't know if they still own
it.
that. They
It
might
definitely
have
gets
like
hard during the year when I'm like, there's another event this weekend. Like, how many CrossFit events? Because like, I don't have a map of all the sanctionals and other things, and sometimes it feels like there's one all the time, and it's like, are
yeah.
they streaming that? Then they're streaming it, and then you pop on, and if the stream don't look good and catch me right away, and I'm off. I'll just
even if it's like you're in between events and you're like, they just finished, and I'm like, all right, then I guess I'm not watching.
Yeah, you catch it at the wrong time, and I don't know, like I don't really see the workouts announced, or when I do see them, there's never a workout that pops up where I'm like, oh, I got to see them do that. Like, it's just, it all always seems the same every time I see the workouts. I'm like, isn't that the workout they did at that other event or that event or that event? Bike, dumbbell snatch, box jump overs, whatever. Like, let's do some other stuff here. But, cool. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
We should make use of some of these workouts. We should program them in some capacity. I don't know. Maybe at some point we could do. All right, how could we use these workouts? We could do post open, like, all right, here's like a Saturday series or a Sunday series or something by Miguel. Come try these workouts, type of thing. What do you think would be the best way we could make some use out of these?
Yeah, I mean, even like a little mid-summer open. Like last year we had the games. So if we want people to like an early summer thing, like a June thing, and just do like a R open then.
I like that.
Throw these in. Yeah.
When you said midsummer, that movie popped into my head. Yeah. We should totally use that as like the marketing. That meme when she's crying with all the other women in the village and whatnot. that could be, actually, that's how you'll feel on the burpee snatch workout. That's exactly how she's screaming there. That's how that workout feels. That's a perfect example of it. And then not being able to do the bar muscle up is just sitting in the bear suit, just feeling dumb and about to die. You're like, well, here I am. I can't do that bar muscle up. I'm just in a bear suit. What a movie. What an interesting movie. Let me tell you, they wouldn't have got me. I would have, soon as, if we were all there, as soon as one of you, let's say if they're like, oh yeah, no, we drove Miguel to town and whatnot, I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, oh, that's so nice of you. But in the back of my head, I would have been like, the F you did. There's no way. And then I would know that you're probably dead or captive somewhere. I would offer, oh, can I use the truck to move this stuff? And Miguel, when I got in that truck, I'd start mowing MFers down. It would be bad. I would just start running people over, and then I'd hit the road and I would leave.
Yeah.
I would. They're all at the dinner table. I'd find that truck. I'd drive through a freaking line of them, and then I'd be off on the road and whatnot. There's no chance. As soon as I know that they've killed a couple of you guys and that this is some nefarious stuff, what would you do? I'd at least take some people down with me.
I would love to say that I would never even be there.
Yes. All right.
I think I could potentially be convinced, just for the travel of it all. But yeah, immediately, because I'm with that couple who's also like, we're leaving. But even if let's say they get me because I'm thinking that they're driving us to the station, everyone back at the camp is gonna know that they got me, because nobody's leaving unscathed if they got me. Something's blowing up at least.
Some guy's missing an eye that you clawed out.
Genuinely, you're gonna see that I was wronged at least. So everybody else has got a chance, but I hope they don't get me.
No, and if we see the whole sacrificial scene at the cliffs, which I think that's when the couple is like, we're out of here and stuff. That's when that's when I know these people are not afraid to kill another person. And then when they're like, oh yeah, Schaff and Kate left already. We took them to the airport one night. I'm like, sure you did. And you're back already? It's like, because that doesn't mean that they're good liars. They're just assuming we're all stupid. We're just stupid Americans. But what they also fail to realize is that we are violent Americans too. And they're about to feel it. That's as soon as I saw that movie, that's all I was thinking about. I'm like, man, if I got behind the wheel of that truck, they would know. And I'd be gone out of there.
Yeah.
Boy. But also I would never be there. And I would never take any of those drugs too. So they wouldn't get me like that. They wouldn't get me with like
Right.
they'd have to drug the food.
It's in the food. It's in the food.
I know. Hmm. But do I have a knife at the table? I don't know. I'm with you. They would not everyone will be walking away unscathed.
Right. Like
there's just no way. Like that like we're at the table, there's forks and stuff. All right, this goes in that guy's eye. This guy, I'm biting this guy. Like stuff's happening. You'll at least remember me for the remainder of your life. And it's like, oh, there's that eye patch Joe. And it's like, what happened to his eye? Well, one of the Americans 10 years ago is like, yeah, that's me. That's my lasting legacy. But yeah, I would also never.
I do like the midsummer theme if we're gonna do something in the summer.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
Yeah,
we should save that.
Yes, let's save that. I think that's a good idea. Midsummer. There's so many great memes that we can brand this with. We can do all 6 workouts. We can make new. We could do all kinds of things. We could do just yours and then do mine another time. Like I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. We get a little leaderboard going like we used to. Yeah. No, I think we should do that in place of the games and something to do. So we'll keep planning that. We'll put a pin on it. We'll keep planning it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Miguel, any closing thoughts on building open workouts, everything that goes into them, the open coming up, murdering cultists, anything like that? Which not murdering cultists, self-defense.
Right. No, I guess biggest thing is I hope it's interesting this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would just be cool to see people, even if I don't end up doing it, but to see others do cool workouts. Like I want something interesting.
Yeah, me too. I think it's time for them to level it back up again. Like, make it big, make it grand, and for the love of all things holy, count the weights on the bar. Make sure everybody knows the standards. Double check when things are supposed to auto post and make sure they post at the right time so they're not leaked and everyone loses their minds. Like, come on. Figure out who the moles are leaking things and fire those people unless you want it leaked. Maybe that is part of the plan. I don't know. There's a conspiracy that it's done on purpose. Like whatever it is, let's just fix those holes and like not make it look like it's just done by the seat of their pants. I think we just did a solid job with having 1 week to kind of think about things and having no resources, which we could if we wanted to have it tested and do this and do that. And I think we did an okay job. I hate when I see some of these workouts and it's like, did they think of that? Like, just like on the car ride from the airport to the like what's going on here? Like, because it does feel like that sometimes. And I hope it's not. I hope it's something that draws us all in.
Yep.
One other closing thought. Miguel, you do realize that if we escaped the cult camp, like you took a few down with you, you're on the road, you get to the airport, you go back somehow, all this stuff, you get to the embassy. 1, can we trust everybody at the embassy? 2, I don't think it ends there. They know who you are. They know where you're from. They might still have your wallet or whatever. And they clearly have people in the States recruiting and bringing over. I don't think it's done. I think that you can't leave the country. I think you have to stock up on resources and go back and essentially finish the job almost. If you want to live a peaceful life, like I don't think it's done if you just mow a few people down and leave. They're going to come after you.
Well, the thing is, I'm not mowing anybody down and then leaving. I'm just leaving. So they can do whatever they want. But yeah, because that's the thing. I don't even have to tell anyone. I just didn't vibe with the old people sacrifice off the cliff thing. So I just left because of that. But I haven't wronged you. You technically haven't wronged me. We can let bygones be bygones. Yes, I will be paranoid, but going back is insane. Because then the first thing you do, you get back, all of a sudden that camp is gone. Nobody's there.
And they've laid a trap
And then,
for you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That I could totally see that. My thing with the mowing people down is that like if I have a feeling that they've like killed people in our party, I'm kind of pissed about it. Like so
Right.
like I'm gonna run this fucking old dude down who's like the leader and everything because like you guys killed Schaff and Kate. So I can't let that slide.
Right. Right.
I don't know that, but that's just me. But then knowing and doing that, now it's like like these people obviously operate on old rules, and eye for an eye is definitely in that. So
Right.
there's no way I'm never not having the doors locked and sleeping with a rifle across my lap, which that's not a great way to live your life. And then also it's like revenge doesn't always have to come straight away. It can
Yeah,
wait, like,
for
oh,
sure.
Miguel's got a wife and kids now, and it's been 20 years and everything. Well, now that little kid that saw you take that guy out, he's an adult man now. He just had to grow up, and he's had your license that whole time. And now he's gonna pick his time to strike.
Yep.
It's just a bad idea. Don't go to any cult places.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, Shaf, I will avenge you. If you're listening, I will avenge you. I will circle back and I will burn down that whole village. And then I find out it's a whole misunderstanding. They're like, oh no, we just took them to CVS down the road. Like they just needed some Tylenol. You really overreacted. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. All right. Thank you, Miguel, and thank you everybody for listening. And stream.